Right, howdy folks, how are we doing? Today is a new feeder wagon sort of day today. The old one's going, which we've had for 7 years, something like that. 7 years. And we're replacing it with one of them. Look at that beauty. She is a beauty. Right, so I've just got back this old one onto the low loader. Should be fun because you can't see very well out of these mirrors. Oh, let's try this again. I can't see a huge amount out the left mirror because of the unloading auger. If I aim for that chassis rail there, we won't be far off. Yeah. Oh, we're on there. That wasn't too bad at all. Look at that. I mean, it's exactly the same feeder wagon, essentially, but yeah, just slightly updated. Looks the tits, doesn't it? That does look the tits. Cool, yeah, very, very nice. Have some of that. It certainly looks pretty. Shame it won't look this good ever again. But yeah, these small sort of touches where it's where they've improved it over the old one. But essentially in here is exactly the same. You know, the reason we got another one of these is because it does, I mean, now it chops bales like you wouldn't believe, because obviously we're all solids bales. You know, this really does chop as good as anything on the market, probably better than anything on the market in my opinion. The reason we've had to get a new one, I mean, a lot of you probably think, well, the other one weren't that old, like about 7-year-old. Well, these get no end of wear, and these, the auger flights here, you can see they've got about 12mm thick, something like that. Well, that's how they're, you know, that's how the other one started off, about 12mm thick. But after, you know, certainly about 4 or 5 years, they start getting really thin, and in the end, you end up with basically a knife edge on the auger flight, and like the shark fin there in the middle, that had worn to probably about 3mm thick. So they do get a lot of wear. I mean, a lot of wear, because there's a lot of stress in here, like really is. So, but I mean, this should really chop like a bastard now. It really should. So, you know, obviously save us, you know, diesel and that, because it's going to chop a lot quicker than the old one. So, anyway, let's make it second hand and put a bale on it, shall we? One thing they definitely have done with it is it's a lot lower than the old one. The axle's different axle setup, and it rides a lot lower. It's obviously great for loading it and you know, seeing in there what it's doing, and well, just for overall height light. There you go, that is now second hand. We'll chuck a silage bale in and see what it does with that. Other little things, like they've moved the road lights on it as well, so that it shouldn't get damaged. Munchy, 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 munchy. Om nom 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 nom. loader's definitely in need of a bit of love. Certainly blowy today. Oh, got the handbrake. Feeling that straw right, isn't it? Woo. There it goes. First load of silage. I mean, the previous one we had was, on the whole, generally very reliable. I mean, it's something that gets used at least once a day, and of course during the winter, you know, twice a day it does 2 feeds, or 3 feeds actually, if you consider the it feeds the heifers as well. That's stopping a lot quicker now, a lot quicker. Purely because it isn't worn. Like where the knives go through, you can't see it now because we've got sides in it, but where the knives go through, there's adjustable, these things here are on sort of adjustable cams so that they can maintain the space between the knife and the, well, sort of the cutting area and the what it cuts against. And of course that's all real tight at the minute, so it's chopping like a good one. New display on it, it's a bit clearer. They've done away with all the cowling around the gearbox and that now, so it's a lot easier to get to. There's another stub under there for reversing it. If you get a real heavy blockage in it, you can put the P-tail on there, and then that'll reverse it to clear the blockage line. But just a bit cleaner and a bit tidier like. So this is the new controller for unloading. So you've got your gate up down there, you got your conveyor on and off, forwards and on and off reverse, and the conveyor up and down. Only thing I have found with this, I haven't used it, there's no little detents or anything to let you know you're on a button. So you have to physically look at it to see what button you're pressing, which is, well, it's a bit of a step back because the other one obviously like I said was toggle switches, so you could just feel which toggle switch you wanted and you could do it whilst you were seeing what you were doing. But this one, yeah, like I say, there's nothing there, they're all completely smooth, so there's no way you're going to be able to feel, oh that's the up down, or that's the gate, or that's the on off. You're going to have to look at it. So that's the only thing I've found that's you know, not as good, but I suppose that's progress, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing wrong with the old toggle switch setup. Worked perfectly fine, never had an issue with it at all. But yeah, like everything, It has to go a bit more electronic than it, just for, I don't know why, just for, you know, technology's sake sometimes, but it has actually got redundant buttons for each. I mean, none of these work, but if, say, these failed, you could transfer them to here, so there is that, but yeah, anyway, hopefully it'll give us a few years of reliable service, because yeah, I mean, obviously you want it to be reliable, that is the key thing with it, like, you know, so yeah, anyway, enjoyed that quick vid, we'll see you on the next one. Ta-ta!